9.4 is about arithmetic series. What's the difference between a sequence and a series? You see a plus sign between them. And that's what leads you to believe that's a series, because now you're adding them, and what you're going to do is find the sum of those numbers. So it says, what is the sum of the even integers from 2 to 100? So we're going to use this one right here. So the S sub n of that set is how many numbers are in the first even integers from 2 to 100. Well, we know that's going to be 50. So the sum of the first 50 even integers, again, would be 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 8 and so on and so forth. But that's going to equal n, which is 50, divided by 2 times a sub 1. Well, the first integer that's even is 2 plus the last integer, which would be 100. So it ends up giving me 25 times 102, and the sum of that series will be 2550. So using these, a company pays a $10,000 bonus to salespeople at the end of their first 50 weeks. If they make 10 sales in the first week and they improve their sales by numbers by 2 each week thereafter, the salesperson qualifies for the bonus with the minimum possible number of sales. How many sales does the salesperson make in week 50? And then the sum of all 50 weeks. So again, we know that this is an arithmetic sequence to begin. Our a sub 1 is 10, and our common difference is 2. Okay, so let's use that to find the 50th term. So let's find the a sub n, or a sub 50. Remember from a couple days ago, that's a1, which is 10, plus n minus 1, 50 minus 1, times our common difference, which is 2. Plug in a calculator, you end up with 108. So that's how many sales they'll make in the 50th week. So let's see how many sales they made in all 50 weeks. So we're going to take our S sub n, or S sub 50, is going to equal 50 divided by 2, the formula we just talked about, times the first term, which was 10, and the last term, which is 108, which we just found. That gives me 25 times 118, and 25 times 118, he made a total of 2,950 sales. Now, example 3 is talking about summation notation. So we just started talking about summing the arithmetic series and such. So now we want to write that into what you say is a summation notation. Okay, so it starts with the summation E, okay? And then they want to know for the series 7 plus 11 plus 15 all the way up to 207. Okay? And that's what summation looks like. But to get there, we have to go through a couple different steps. Okay, the first one is to write an explicit sequence for that. And how do we do that? Well, again, it's a sub n equals n1 plus n minus 1 times d. And again, we're not real sure what n is, but we don't really need to know what n is. We do know what n1 is 7 plus n minus 1, and we know our common difference, 7 to 11, and then 11 to 15, our common difference is going to be 4. So that's easy to know. Now, what do? We'll distribute through. That gives me 7 plus 4n minus 4. Negative 4 plus 7 is going to be, our equation is going to be 4n plus 3. So there's that. Now we need to find how many terms we have. We need to find n now. So I'm going to use this formula and this last term to try to find how many total terms there are. So 207, which is my last term, is going to equal 4n plus 3. Let's see what my last term is. And it's just a matter of solving from here. 4n equals 204. Divide by 4, n is going to equal 51. So when n equals 51, let me clean that up for you a little bit. So n being 51 now, we have my term, we have my final, now I can write it in summation notation. So E from n equals 1 to 51 of our formula, which is 4n plus 3. Example 4, they give us summation. They want us to find out what the actual sum of them is. So the first thing we have to do is we have to find our a sub 1. Okay, our a sub 1 is going to be 5 times 1 plus 3, which gives me 8. Now we need our a sub 70. We need the last term. So again, I'm going to do the same thing. That's going to be 5 times 70 plus 3, which is going to equal 353. Okay, so now we have both. Now we can just go ahead and use my formula. So S sub 70 equals n divided by 2 times the first term, which is 8, plus 353. That's going to give me 12,635. B is, we'll talk about it in class because I have a nice little trick with the calculator to show you too. The first part is nice. First person in your class to come ask me or during our note session about B wins a prize.